Rimuru Tempest x Omniverse Fanfic x Crossover XOC by Dayo. Chapter 23, Elimination Round. Cordelia Pav. The first preliminaries had finally begun. The tournament is divided into 4 parts, namely the first preliminary round, second preliminary round, semifinal round and final round. In this tournament, 10 S rank adventurers will be born and 10 A+ rank adventurers will be born. Actually, A+ rank adventurers were adventurers with a special class. He was only partially recognized S rank and partially disowned. This tournament begins with a preliminary round which is divided into 2 groups according to color. Me, Cornelia and Ralph got white. Rimuru got black. I'm very lucky not to be in the same group with him. If only I had gotten black, I might have been thrown straight out of the arena by Rimuru. Rimuru, good luck Cordelia. Cordelia, thank you. After that I continued my journey. I was currently walking towards the arena in front of me with Cornelia and Ralph. Ahead there is the beginning of our struggle to become S-rank adventurers. Because we've always been stuck at rank A and haven't been able to compete with strong adventurers from other regions. After meeting Rimuru, we became stronger. The first preliminary round is held with a maximum time of 20 minutes or the remaining 10 adventurers are still standing in the arena. There was a dazzling light from the front. Cordelia, fortunately we're not in the same group as Rimuru. Cornelia, yes, we are lucky. Ralph, but, maybe we will meet him in the final round. Ralph really spoils the mood. We were relieved that we weren't in the same group as Rimuru to be so worried about our situation when one of us fought Rimuru. Cordelia, WWE can think about that later, better not to burden your mind when the preliminaries start. Ralph, why you're right, no need to think about that. Once we got outside, the blinding light that had previously obscured our view while looking ahead disappeared and we could see a tall, fenceless arena in front of us. The arena is surrounded by rotating spectator seats. The number of seats is very large. But not too many people watched this preliminaries. There are still many empty seats. People just want to watch a one-on-one fight. They prefer something intense and a great climax. Destruction, techniques and hand-to-hand combat are shown here. There is still no referee as this is a free fight, so referees won't be needed here. Instead he would become a hindrance to adventurers and would be crushed. There are only a few committees who will watch the fight and assess the results as well as oversee the course of the tournament. In this group there are also some famous adventurers and they are very strong. An example is Bradley Crusher with his strong destructive power, he always destroys monsters. Alope with his agility and technique is able to stab the opponent's weak point quickly and precisely. And Freel Frost Mage with his very strong ice magic that can freeze opponents. They are all very strong. But I'm confident in my abilities and will keep trying to win. Before we went up to the arena, the committee at the arena door checked the color of the paper we got. All lined up until the appointed time. After all the assembled adventurers were 50, all the supervisors in the vicinity left the arena. Committee. Rules. You can't kill your opponent and you can't attack your opponent's vital points. All of you may only throw other participants out of the arena or make your opponent unable to move or make your opponent unconscious. Using artifacts or self-reinforcing items is strictly prohibited. If you use them you will be immediately disqualified and your rank will be lowered to C rank. Creating groups is allowed in this round. White group stage. I made a group with Cornelia and Ralph to be on the safe side. All of the adventurers gripped their wooden weapons in their hands tightly so they wouldn't let go during battle. All of us who were on the arena waiting for the signal from the committee while making preparations to attack. Me, Cornelia and Ralph were in the west. Cordelia, prepare your wind magic to blow them away. Cornelia, okay Neeson. Cordelia, Ralph, we protect Cornelia while she prepares her magic. Ralph, okay. Cornelia can only use fire magic and light magic, but Rimuru said that her best affinity is in fire magic and light magic. I said it was impossible for him to use wind magic, but Rimuru denied it. And somehow he made Cornelia able to use wind magic. We are all still waiting for the committee to start this fight. Committee. Started. After the committee said that, Ralph and I took a defensive stance to protect Cornelia while she was preparing her wind magic. All the adventurers immediately ran to the center of the arena to clash with each other. There were several adventurers running towards us. Ralph and I prepare for the impending attack. Adventurer. He, weak prey. A large adventurer came up to me, and he wielded a large, heavy-looking sword. There was also a rapier user who attacked Ralph. Adventurer. Feel this. He swung his greatsword from the side to strike my stomach. I used my magic to strengthen my whole body and eyes. I saw her swing slowing down. Movement is slow, very slow. I followed Rimuru's suggestion to strengthen my sight when the enemy was about to attack so I could dodge them. Although it was difficult, but the three of us managed to do it. Now our eyesight is improved and we are able to dodge very fast attacks. I jumped back to dodge the slash. He's great, being able to swing a sword this big quickly, but since I've strengthened my eyesight, I can see him clearly. Ralph, who was beside me, was still fighting his opponent. He also grew stronger as his body was strengthened with his magic. Ralph didn't budge at all when he received an attack from his opponent. He continuously received stab attacks from his opponent and counterattacked. Ralph managed to attack him. I can't lose either. Without wasting any time, I immediately jumped forward and tried to stab him with the wooden rapier. He managed to block it using his hands for defense and he counterattacked with his greatsword. His greatsword aimed at my chest from the side with a diagonal slash. I immediately lowered my body and attacked his arm, which was used to block my attack. I managed to hit him and he took a few steps back. I immediately approached him and aimed at his hand that was holding the sword and stabbed it between the upper arm and the shoulder. Now it's hard for him to move his hands. Adventurer. Damn. Cordelia, if you want to be sorry, then regret yourself for belittling me just because I'm a woman. I strengthened my hand using magic and clenched it. Rimuru also taught me how to knock people out with a punch. He said while training us, Rimuru used magic to coat his hands and hit our stomachs. However, it takes good control of magic to do so. So, Rimuru trained us again to control magic. That time he didn't train us like devils, but he trained us normally. At first we were really scared while remembering the trauma of being beaten by Rimuru. But after he said just practicing magic control normally, we were a little relieved. Right now, the adventurer couldn't move his hands temporarily. I have injured all his muscles so he can neither defend nor attack. I hit him right in the stomach and knocked him a few steps away from me and passed out. One of the organizers immediately jumped up to him and took him because he couldn't fight anymore. Ralph also seemed to excel. He keeps his opponent cornered and manages to knock him out. After that, 16 adventurers came to us. They were all after us who were outnumbered by them. However, they all didn't see Cornelia who was behind us. Cornelia. Ralph, Onisan, now. Cordelia. Okay. Come on Ralph. Ralph. Fine. After Cornelia gave the signal, Ralph and I quickly retreated behind Cornelia. The adventurers just realized that Cornelia had prepared wind magic. We got behind Cornelia. Cordelia. Do. Cornelia. Big wind thrust. A green magic circle appeared and its size was bigger than Cornelia's body. Instantly a huge wind wave crashed into all the adventurers in front of us. Adventurers who were hit by a wave of wind were pushed away and thrown out of the arena. There were only 3 adventurers who managed to dodge the attack earlier. I wasted no time and immediately moved quickly towards the 3 adventurers who managed to dodge. I covered my hands again using magic and hit their stomachs until they passed out one by one. After they fainted, they were immediately taken out by the committee so as not to interfere with the match. I looked towards the east and there was Freel the Ice Witch who had managed to immobilize her opponent with her ice magic. Many adventurers tried to challenge him and ended up being defeated by him. I think he's a tough opponent. I hope I don't run into him. To the north is Bradley who knocks all his opponents out with his strength. With such a large body, not many adventurers challenge him because of his extraordinary strength. I also don't want to meet him when fighting in the semifinals. And in the south direction there is Aloe who manages to take down several opponents with his rapier. His agility is on the same level as mine. But his attacks are always on target. He has a great advantage. I also have to be like him. We saw some adventurers coming towards us again. This time they used magic against us. Cordelia. Ralph. Ralph. Fine. Ralph got what I meant and went straight in front of us. He prepared his shield to protect us. Adventurer 1. Fireball. Adventurer 2, Wind Thrust. Ralph, Greater Barrier. After that the two magicians attacked us with fireballs. Ralph restrained him using the Greater Barrier he learned from Rimuru. However, this barrier was still far weaker than Rimuru's barrier. Ralph managed to block the two fireballs with his barrier. After that, I immediately approached them and stabbed them with the tip of the rapier. Because these are made of wood and the edges are not sharp, so it will only make them unable to continue the match anymore. They both groaned in pain while holding their pierced stomachs. I walked over to them. Cordelia, still want to continue? I said that with a smile while looking down. Which one? He. No, I give up. Which two? Ime too. It seems they both misunderstood something. If they want to continue, then I will wait for them to stand up and attack. Just let it be. 10 minutes later. Committee, stop. I hereby declare that the first preliminary round has been completed. Finally finished this preliminary round. We all managed to survive in the top 10 adventurers who will enter the semifinal match. Cordelia. I'm tired. Cornelia. I almost ran out of my magic. Luckily I saved it. Ralph. I'm going to find some food, do you guys want to buy something? Cordelia. Are you sure? Shouldn't we just wait and see Rimuru fight? Ralph. Looks like I'll have to wait a little longer. Cordelia. It can't be helped, you have to endure your hunger and thirst a little longer. We were already very exhausted after fighting continuously for several minutes. I'm already hungry too, but I want to watch Rimuru fight. I don't want to miss it so I can learn his fighting style. Cordelia. Come on, let's go to the audience, maybe there are people selling food. Ralph. Okay. Cornelia. Wait for me, Neeson. We all walked to the stands. However, a miracle happened. Elaine. Cordelia Onichan. Rimuru Onichan said to give this to you guys. It was like a miracle after the war. Passing trials that required us to endure hunger while fighting. Finally gave birth to a miracle. Elainchan came to us with Rimuru. Isn't he in a tournament? Is she his twin sister, Seal? I think so because the two of them are very similar. They walked towards us carrying baskets of food. Cordelia. Thank you, Elainchan. I rubbed his head as a sign of gratitude. Elainchan seems happy with that. Cordelia. Sealson, will Rimuru win? Seal just nodded without speaking. He seems to be quiet. Ralph. Elainchan, thank you very much. After that we sat on the nearest seats and waited for the black group to fight. The time lag before the black group fights is 10 minutes. So, during that time we ate the food that Elainchan gave us. 10 minutes later. Finally after waiting, the black group came out for the preliminary round. Cordelia Pav and Rimuru Pav. I thought there would be no problem when Cordelia and the others would fight in the preliminaries. I had taught him a few things before the preliminaries tournament started. I also added wind magic to Cornelia's magic circuit. Now he can push his enemies using wind magic. I'm still waiting in the waiting room until the white group finishes their match. Many of the people I will be competing with are of the same level as or stronger than an archdemon. However, they were all still weaker than Orion. Really, is the human strength in this world this low? Even those here were few who had evolved into grand humans. Their strength was also slightly stronger than Cordelia and the others. Right now I'm sitting and thinking about things. Rimuru. Seal. Yes. Rimuru, can you speed up the search for another Sin series power? Opening square bracket ... I'm sorry master, because the energy is so small and faint, it's even hard for me to search for it, at least master should be around that power with a minimum distance of 16 kilometers. So, can't do I need to travel the world in search of the remaining power of the Sin series? I have obtained 3 powers of the Sin series by chance. But, it just so happens that it doesn't happen very often. Rimuru. It's okay Seal, as long as you're here I can still rest easy. Blush. Thank you master. I thought I heard Seal blush. Could it be just my feelings? Yeah, maybe it's just me. I stood up from my seat and walked towards a large board. On it was written, ranking up exam tournament rules. I think I should read it before the fight so as not to be disqualified. In short, there are several rules listed on this board, namely 1. Do not kill the opponent. 2. Do not attack the opponent's vital points or organs during the first preliminary round. 3. Must not make the opponent paralyzed forever. 4. Do not use artifacts or self-reinforcing tools. 5. Must not use large-scale magic. 6. It is not allowed to use magic that can kill the opponent. That's the only rule listed there. And there is also an inscription at the bottom, namely, it is not allowed to violate these rules. If a participant violates these rules, he will be immediately disqualified and his rank will be lowered to rank C. Like that. It turns out that the punishment for those who violate it is quite harsh. I think I'll have to hold on to my strength a little more next time. We will also fight using weapons made of wood so as not to hurt too much. I took an ordinary wooden sword as my weapon. 16 minutes later. Finally the white group finished competing and now it was the black group's turn to compete. I followed the people walking towards the arena. When I got outside, I could see a tall, fenceless arena in front of me. I think this preliminaries are battle royal themed. All the adventurers including me lined up to enter the arena. We are all checked whether we are using something that is prohibited or not. The organizers also asked for our black tickets as a sign of entering the preliminary round tournament. It's time for my turn to be examined. When the committee examined me, he seemed to notice something was strange. What's that? Hopefully it's not something bad. Committee, did you bring any artifacts? Artifacts. What does he mean? I didn't use any very powerful artifacts or anything. Except for my mask. Rimuru, Seal, does my mask also include an artifact? Yes. Unlucky. Rimuru, sorry, this is my friend's legacy, please take care of this mask. I gave up and gave my mask to him. Instantly the eyes of all the adventurers turned to me. What has happened? I heard something I really didn't want to hear. Like this. We beautiful. I think I'm in love. I will marry her. Hey, I go first, damn it. I will protect him. I immediately directed my sharp gaze at the noisy adventurers. Instantly all the adventurers who had been noisy fell silent. This is better. Committee, please come in, miss. Miss. You impolite, why do you call me miss? Even though I'm a man. Even if I say that, they still won't believe it. I immediately directed my sharp gaze towards the committee in front of me. Rimuru, The committee was immediately shocked and silent. Rimuru, I'm going up. I went up to the arena. The arena here is huge. I looked at the VIP audience and looked for Elaine who was with my clone. They weren't there. Where did they go? Elaine. Rimuru Onichan, fight. Elaine will support Onichan. It turns out they were there. Wait, why did Cordelia and the others eat our lunch? I never gave it to them. Seems like Elainchan is a good kid. After Seal said that, I calmed down a bit. I think he gave it to them after fighting fatigue. Finally, after a few minutes of waiting, the second preliminary round tournament was about to start. Committee. Rules. You can't kill your opponent and you can't attack your opponent's vital points. All of you may only throw other participants out of the arena or make your opponent unable to move or make your opponent unconscious. Using artifacts or self-reinforcing items is strictly prohibited. If you use them, you will be immediately disqualified and your rank will be lowered to C rank. Creating groups is allowed in this round. Black group stage. I'm still waiting for the committee's signal while taking my sword. I was alone in the corner of the eastern arena. There were some adventurers who formed groups so they could win. I also prepared the horses. Committee. Started. After that, I just kept quiet and waited for someone to come to me. I will enjoy this tournament with all my heart.